Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone. I am delighted to have you at this crucial session of our 2025-26 live lecture series. Today we address a vital segment from the current affairs syllabus, Pakistan relation with its neighbors, India, China, Afghanistan and Russia. So this session is not only critical for the CSS current affairs paper but also fundamental to understanding Pakistan's security, economic prospects and its role in ensuring regional stability. So mastery over this theme will help you frame the multifaceted analytical answers in your CSS exams. So let's explore this landscape with strategic insight and practical exam guidance. So Pakistan occupies a unique geostrategic crossroads, straddling South Asia, Central Asia, and West Asia. So its neighbors India, China, and Afghanistan, and its proximity to Russia shape nearly every facet of its foreign policy outlook. So Pakistan diplomacy has historically centered on security, balancing existential threats mainly from India and leveraging great power rivalries to its favor. So increasingly, the rise of geoeconomies is challenging traditional narratives, access to regional connectivity, trade corridors, and energy routes now weigh as heavily as military alliances. So events in neighboring states, conflict in Kashmir, instability in Afghanistan, China economic ambitions, and Russia pivot to Asia directly impact Pakistan's security development and domestic discourse. So, true sustainable stability for Pakistan is only possible through constructive cooperative relations with all neighbors. So, Pakistan and India relations. Pakistan India ties remain the most volatile in the region. Their four major wars 1947, 1965, 1971, Kargil 1999 were all driven by the unresolved Kashmir dispute and competing national identities. So since India revocation of Article 370 in August 2019 and bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir, all former dialogue has collapsed. So diplomatic ties are minimal. Embassies are understaffed and high-level visits non-existent. So relations reached crisis levels in May 2025 when a terror attack in Kashmir killed 25 Indian nationals and one Nepalese national. India accused Pakistan-based groups and conducted missile strikes inside Pakistan. So Pakistan retaliated with strikes in Jammu and Poonch. So Kashmir remains central. Recent crackdown, citizenship changes, and arrest in Indian administered Kashmir exacerbate tensions. So following fresh violence in April 2025, India temporarily suspended the Indus Water Treaty, triggering warnings from Pakistan about possible acts of war if water flows are altered. And terrorism allegations. So high-profile attack Uri 2016, Pulwama 2019, and Pahalgam 2025 repeatedly plunged relations into crisis with India blaming Pakistan for harboring militants. So trade and people-to-people ties since 2019, bilateral trade is suspended, visa regimes are halted, and forums like SAC are paralyzed. So recent developments and roadblocks, continued military hostilities the May 2025 missile exchanges marked the most serious military crisis since 1971. Although a ceasefire was reached on 10 May, daily ceasefire violations persist. So both sides expelled diplomats, closed historic border crossings, and disputed over water and airspace rights. So cross-border family ties and Sikh religious pilgrimage via the Kartarpur corridor have been impacted by but maintained. Take two efforts despite hostilities. Unconfirmed reports suggest limited intelligence back channels on counterterrorism and accidental escalation protocols remain functional. So, rising nationalism, hardline election rhetoric in India, and deep mistrust after the recent clashes stay all any hope for resumptions of dialogue. So, in exam answers, highlight how post 2019 and especially post 2025 violence have strategically deepened the divide, analyze the role of water, non state actors, and back channel communications, and argue for geo-economic alternatives while recognizing the challenges. So, Pakistan and China relations. Strategic partnership Iran Brothers China is unequivocally Pakistan's most important strategic partner diplomatically, militarily, and increasingly in technology and space. So CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, brandished as the flagship of the Belt and Road Initiative. CPEC $60 billion investment underpins Pakistan's new infrastructure and energy supplies and modernization drive. The projects include road, rail, deep water port, Gwadar, and special economic zones. So China supplies major defense hardware, including aircraft, JF-17, and missile systems. So both countries conduct joint naval or air exercises and intelligence sharing on counterterrorism. So China has shielded Pakistan diplomatically at the UN, blocked Indian efforts at blacklisting Pakistan in UNSC and FATF, and played mediator during 2025 India-Pakistan standoff. So, Pakistan China challenges and sensitivities. Security of Chinese nationals. There have been several deadly attacks, notably in 2021, 2023, and as recently as July 2025 on Chinese laborers and engineers by separatist and terrorist groups. So, political instability and economic crisis in Pakistan have caused delays, especially in energy and railway projects. However, both sides reaffirmed commitment in Feb 2025 with new deals on mining, oil and gas, and Pakistan participation in China lunar space mission. And debt trap concerns. Western think tanks often raise alarms about Pakistan rising external debt and CPEC lack of transparency, though Islamabad and Beijing deny this as propaganda. Then India China Pakistan triangle. Growing India China tensions ranging from border standoff to strategic competition further complicate CPEC regional prospects. So, in your answers, underscore the transformative scope of CPEC, China diplomatic and security backing and new cooperation in space and technology, critically evaluate challenges to CPEC sustainability and the role of opposition groups and narrative warfare. So, Pakistan historical context. Pakistan shares ethnic, religious, and tribal ties with Afghanistan. The Durand line remains disputed with Afghan nationalists refusing recognition. Since 1979, Pakistan has hosted over 3 million Afghan refugees, bearing immense economic and social stress. So Pakistan welcomed the Taliban August 2021 takeover, hoping for a friendly, stable western border and reduced Indian presence in Kabul. So initial relief emerging dilemmas. Pakistan advocated for humanitarian engagement with the new regime but withheld formal recognition, citing the need for an inclusive Afghan government, particularly regarding rights for minorities and women. And turbulent transformations post 2021. So security threats surge. Contrary to expectations, TTP, Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, militants found sanctuary in Afghanistan. In 2024-25, there was a sharp spike in cross-border attacks. Major strikes by TTP killed dozens of Pakistani security personnel, triggering deadly airstrikes by Pakistan in Afghanistan. Patika province. As of 2024, Pakistan suffered more than 500 militant attacks with nearly 1,000 casualties in a single year. And bilateral tensions, border fencing, particularly along Chaman and Turkham, is frequently damaged. So temporary closes disrupt trade and inflame local unrest. The refuge burden grows as Pakistan moves to repatriate ones who arrived after 2021. So Pakistan accuses Afghanistan Taliban government of harboring TTP and not acting on security commitments. So the Taliban deny these charges, and China mediations has led to limited dialogue, but distrust remains at an all-time high. And some other concerns like recognition engagement, lack of broad in international recognition for the Taliban stalls, economic support, deepening Afghanistan humanitarian crisis, and by extension, Pakistan refuge and security challenges. Smuggling and cartelization, persistent drug and arms trafficking across the porous border threaten regional stability and undercut state authority on both sides. So always address the evolving security dimensions. TTP safe havens, cross-border operations, border fencing, and balance with humanitarian and regional integration aspects. Tie in mediation efforts by China, Russia, and a forward-looking multi-pronged policy response. Then Pakistan Russia relations, emerging dynamics. So once adversities during the Cold War, Pakistan and Russia increasingly realigned after 2010 through joint military drills, naval visits, Duzbasris mean friendship in Russian, and counterterrorism coordination. So Russia now calls Pakistan natural ally, In 2025, high level officials from both states reaffirmed their commitment to expanding political energy and connectivity ties. Recent developments like 2024 2025. So, August 2025 marks the launch of a pilot cargo train connecting Pakistan, Russia, and Uzbekistan, expanding Pakistan reach into Central Asia. Pakistan finalized its first oil import deal using non-dollar currencies, ruble and yuan in 2023, a strategic move aimed global sanctions on Russia. And collaborative projects, the agreement to set up a new steel mill in Karachi is held as a milestone. The Pakistan steam gas pipeline remains under negotiations with hopes of moving forward despite technical and financial hurdles. And Russia offered to mediate during the 2025 India-Pakistan crisis and voiced support for Pakistan, Afghanistan future and regional integration. So, persistent limitations like India factor, decades old India Russia defense cooperation is a reality check for Islamabad. Moscow must balance ties across the region. And Pakistan deepening as energy ties with the sanctions, Russia risk Western pushback, especially regarding payments and banking restrictions. So while Russia pivot to Asia, its genuine geo-economic alignment beyond energy and infrastructure remains a long-term aspiration. So emphasize the pragmatic diversification of Pakistan alliances. Focus on evolving energy security, cooperation, strategic outreach to Central Asia and constraints imposed by external powers. So Pakistan foreign policy is still heavily security dominated, rooted in historical concerns with India and Afghanistan. For future viability and a shift to a geo-economic and engagement first paradigm is vital. So India remains the principal strategic and existential challenge. Afghanistan is the leading security concern, and China is the anchor of bilateral and regional stability. So Russia is an emerging energy and trade partner with strategic depth. So CPEC, regional connectivity projects, and Pakistan participation in multilateral forums like UNOSCO, FATF should be central to CSS answers. So regularly update facts and statistics focus on crises like the May 2025 escalations with India, cross-border TTP threats from Afghanistan, CPEC progress and setbacks, and new Pakistan-Russia projects. So stable and cooperative neighborhood is essential for Pakistan's security and development. The need of the hour is a balanced, proactive and economic-centered foreign policy that deftly manages great power competition, global shocks, and rising regional complexities. So as CS aspirants, always structure your answer with a well contextualized introduction, concise historical background, current developments with facts and citations, and key challenges and opportunities, and a feasible multi-tied way forward. So prioritize clarity, structure, and neutrality in your responses. Blend facts with analysis and propose actionable evidence-based policy measures. So if you found this session valuable, do like, comment, and share. Subscribe on YouTube and follow on Facebook for more live lectures, model answers, and exam strategies. Stay focused, stay strategic, and good luck for CSS 2026.